Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
Did you forget my name for a second?
I was trying to think of something clever to say that wasn't hate speech.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid Death.
Oh yeah, so refreshing.
Joe Manganiello is a big fan.
He
sends those over.
Yeah.
He's invited us multiple times to his game, but we're like, fuck, we got to find the time. I don't know.
Yeah, he is not calling us.
Yet.
Not yet. But welcome to the show. Thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe to all the YouTube podcast type deals. We do appreciate that. It helps us out. Even if you don't watch it, if you just throw hella likes on there, that gets us in front of other people. So we appreciate it, and we read all your comments, especially all these guys who every time we put up a post, they're like promoted on such and such.
Oh, yeah, on
like,
Instagram.
I'm like, get bent. No, thank you, Mr. Robot. I see your ploy.
You know what's funny is I started an Instagram for my cat, and like every time I post a picture, I promoted on this food thing.
Promoted on food things?
Yeah, it's like cat food things. It's like,
cat food things. I was like
promote it here.
People are
promote it
eating
there.
cats now?
And one was like, oh, yeah, if you send us some money, we'll let you promote on this page. I was like, oh, that's interesting. How about this? I cut you a discount for letting you use this page. And they're like, how much is it? I was like, well, if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
Yeah,
and then they just stopped messaging.
That'll get them. So, yeah, we're not promoting on those things. So we need your help by liking and subscribing. We do appreciate it. And if you want to take it one step further, you can become a patron of ours at patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. You can, for a couple $1 a month, you can help us out, and you get fun prizes like having us read your nerdy confessions, putting your name at the end of the episode, all that good stuff, or even painting minis for you or whatever. So,
or sketch for me, or pick a topic,
or sketch, yeah, or you pick a topic, or I think there was even one where like you could be a guest on the show. It was a lot of money, but like a one-time deal. But yeah, patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. We do appreciate it. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Moon Knight, the series that recently finished up on Disney Plus. But we also kind of wanted to talk about the future of these Marvel television shows. Because I feel like they've been a little hit or miss. We want to see like how important they are. We saw some of them kind of leak into both Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange. And, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? We don't really know. So we're just going to be discussing a little bit of that. That'll be after the break. Before we do that, let's do some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, what's yours?
My nerdy confession is I've been binge listening / not really watching, but listening to a YouTube channel called Mr. Mythos.
Oh.
I know I'm over here promoting other people's YouTube channels. Check it out, but make sure to check us out first.
Yeah.
He does like I love conspiracy theories and, I guess paranormal stuff, but this guy super does his homework. Like, usually when I listen to something like that, I'm like, oh, I've read that. Or, like, I never really get new information. This guy does super fucking... he must be, like, an archivist or something like that for a living because the research he does, I'm like, oh, shit, I've never heard that. And then I'll have to, like, dig it myself. It's like, oh, shit, he was right. Like, that is some new information I didn't know.
He just makes it up.
No, he doesn't make it.
He just makes it up and makes his own websites.
Maybe. That's fucking smart. No, so the one I was actually listening to one when I was driving over here was about Nikola Tesla, which a little weird on this episode because he calls him Nikola, and I was like, every time I hear it, it's like a fucking like when you say Walgreens or
Walgreens, yeah.
When you say Walgreens, it's like ugh, like it just kind of hits me. But a lot of cool stuff that I need to go research after to see what kind of information. Like, he had a whole bunch of info on the death ray that supposedly Tesla was working on.
Yeah, too bad he didn't make it.
Or he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe it's hidden. Maybe it's hidden in the Eiffel Tower. Like, that's always a thing. They're like, oh, there's put in the Eiffel Tower.
What? What thing is that?
I don't know. I feel like there was like a Men in Black or something where that happened. Or
what's
some movie where there's like a weapon hidden in the Eiffel Tower.
feel like you're mixing Men in Black and like
it could be another movie. I stopped paying attention after
like
the first
National Treasure and like
yeah,
all these other
it's
things.
one of those, you know. Oh,
Screamer in Black.
that's cool. Stand by. And that's where the Tesla weapon is.
Yep.
held.
And free energy.
Yeah, and free energy.
That's how we power the show.
Yeah,
free energy.
I know a lot of people were like, you know, a lot of people are like big Tesla fans, not the car company, but actually Nikola Tesla. And because he was trying to make it so that people could get free electricity through the air, like, and like scientists
It's
have,
a cosmic energy, by the way.
and scientists have like disproven that would be possible in the amounts that we need. But they're like, nah, man, he was visionary. He would have figured it out. And we're like, all right, cool.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on it because there have been scientists who have been working, who supposedly have like either have their own version of free energy or working on free energy that fucking die. And like they've caught the murders. Like, why'd you kill him? I didn't have a motive. So I don't know.
I like paying for energy.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past big companies like that. Like, dude, like companies, and this, I wish I had something to cite, but it's for a fact, companies make faulty things so that they can break, so that you can buy it again later. Like, there's a light bulb.
Well, yeah, Apple recently got in trouble for that.
Yeah, light bulbs. Light bulbs. Someone had made a light bulb that's been going on for like over 100 years.
Right.
And the light bulb companies got together and were like, yo, we're going to go out of business.
It's called planned obsolescence.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, knowing that we know that, like, could I put it past a company to fucking kill someone if they're going to figure out something that's going to cut their money? Nah, I mean, I don't think it's that much of a fucking stretch.
Well, I mean, I think it was more of a point that the amount of electricity that a modern home uses, if to make that be inducted through the air, would give us all like brain cancer.
Again, well, I'm smart enough to know I can't figure out, wireless energy or cosmic energy. So I'll leave that up to the next Tesla.
Okay, Elon Musk, figure it out.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as smart as he fucking says he is.
No,
but
he's a good businessman.
I guess. I mean, he learned it from his dad. Like, he had like fucking in South Africa, he had slaves working and shit.
Yeah.
People forget that he grew up during apartheid.
Yeah,
that guy is fucking racist.
He's got some blood diamond money
for sure, 100%. People just the magic that he waved to get everyone to ignore all that.
He's like the internet's darling. Everyone's like, oh, he's like Tony Stark.
No, he's not. No, he's fucking not.
I mean, he's like Tony Stark before Iron Man 1, where he just exploited people and maybe has some black market weapon deals.
And he does not have anywhere near the fucking charisma. I don't understand the people that like Elon Musk. I don't get it.
The internet sucks his dick so hard. I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't understand what these people see.
I don't see the appeal, but whatever. This is not a podcast about Elon Musk. If it was,
that guy. And
we'd be Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Although part of me is kind of like, wait, Trump's going to be back in there? Not that I'm a Trump fan, but I feel like I thrive in chaos, and Twitter is what I love about it. It's just fucking chaos.
Trump says he's not coming back. He's on his own. He's on his own social media platform that he made.
He's gonna fucking come back.
Truth.
Whatever the fuck. I'm glad I don't know the fucking name.
Truthfreedom.com.
That shit's
Twitter.
gonna fucking tank. No, the whole point of like why Twitter is awesome is because you got side A and side B, and there's nothing in the middle. Like, people can't agree. It's like politics, Like, just because one side agrees with something, the other side's got to disagree. And if you get one like Trump, where it's just a bunch of Trump supporters, they're not going to have anyone to fight against. So it's going to fucking tank.
I feel like I hate that. I hate all of that.
It's going to be fucking terrible.
My nerdy confession. This is going to be a little bit of a music nerd confession. So there's this popular YouTube show that I watch called the JHS Show, which is
all we're doing now is promoting other YouTube shows.
Yeah. If you're tired of us, check these other shows. Leave us on in an open window on mute, please. It's called the JHS Show. It's put on by Josh Scott, who owns JHS Pedals, which is a guitar effects pedal company. And I like to watch it because he goes over like the history of different guitar effects, kind of highlights new and notable products, things like that, which is all very exciting. As a guitar player, you're always looking for the new hot thing.
Is that where you got the mod for that super expensive, or the replica of this super expensive?
Yeah, the super expensive guitar pedal, the Klon Centaur.
Yeah.
So he does. He's. It's funny because, yes, he's a pedal manufacturer, but he's also hilarious, and he hates that people are charging like $5. Actually, that Klon Centaur has gotten up to around $9,000 or $10,000 now.
Jesus.
Because
I feel like that'll get you an amazing fucking guitar.
Yes, it'll get you several. I mean, if you really want to, a really good guitar is about $2,000, like a really good one, right? That'll last you your life and do everything you need it to do. So, like for $10,000, you can buy a really nice guitar, a really nice guitar amp, and like some recording stuff to like.
I feel, or like a really nice guitar that a famous person used.
Oh yeah. You can get like a super custom guitar for like $10,000. But anyway, so he hates that pedal is being sold for that much. So he does these troll things where like he has one like that's opened on his desk with like cigarette butts and stuff in it. Like he's using it as an ashtray.
Oh, that's super expensive? Yeah. Oh, that's fucking metal.
Yeah, he's got like 4 or 5 of them. It's so funny. He even put his up on I think it was reverb.com. He put it up for sale for $500,000 because it was serial number 2, I think, which is the first one ever sold like publicly. Serial number 1, the guy who made it kept it or whatever.
How much is it going for?
He put it up on Reverb. He did like a live stream where he put it up for $500,000, $500,000. And he just did it as a troll because like no one's gonna buy that for that much money. And he was like, and if they do, all right,
he's
great.
like, God bless him.
God bless. So anyway, it's a show that I like watching every week, and they do these weekly live streams where they do giveaways and like audience Q&A and stuff. And so I was watching it today, actually right before we did this podcast, and I won a giveaway.
Nice. What'd you get?
So this is where it gets hilarious and sad. So on a show all about guitar pedals, the thing that I happened to win was they were doing this thing where they got some new pedals from Sweetwater.com, which is a big online retailer. And Sweetwater sent a bunch of like swag stuff. So I'm getting a big box of candy and then like Sweetwater beer koozies. And I was like, God.
But you'd have to pay to enter.
No. You just have to answer questions really quickly on the comments and be the first one.
There you go.
And so, I mean, it's not great, but it is free. And
I don't think I've ever won anything like on a radio show or anything
really?
like that.
Yeah.
I've won a raffle once.
Yeah, I've won raffles.
In fact, I think I have it in here. It's one of the statues.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've won several shotguns.
Really?
Yeah, at raffles.
At duck hunts?
What?
At a duck hunt?
Well, I mean, it wasn't at a duck hunt. It was at like a fundraiser thing for like California Waterfowl Association. And then, I won like a guided hunt tour, which is another one. And then I've won not concert tickets. Yeah, actually, I think I won concert tickets.
No, you should play the fucking lotto. You have a lot of luck with things like that. I feel like that.
Just not with the ladies. All right.
Your juju also got you to go meet Senor Favreau and go watch his. Was it Cowboys vs. Aliens?
Yeah, Jon Favreau. Yeah. I met a bunch of people. Had a bunch of good interactions.
Yeah, go buy a fucking lotto. I'll give you the money. You buy a lotto. No, that might taint your luck. But I also want to split the winnings.
Well, if I win the lotto, I'll build like a professional podcast studio in my house, and you can come there whenever you want. Yeah, I'll have it stocked with Liquid Death sparkling water. All right.
Yeah. See, no, it would have to be
or Topo Chico. That's a little bit more highbrow.
There we go. It's not my money, but I'm gonna help you spend it in your house.
Yeah,
we're also gonna build a fucking dungeon so we can play Dungeons and Dragons.
Whoa. Oh, that kind of dungeon.
Yeah, no, not a sex dungeon.
Well, I mean, the sex dungeon will be next door, but it'll be soundproof.
There we go.
So,
and that way we can record in there and then play because we'll have famous friends by then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what money does. It gets you famous friends.
That's the thing, man. If I think about this a lot when I'm like feeling down. I just like to lay on my bed with my eyes closed and imagine what I would do with like $1 billion. And I would, man. Like Elon Musk, first of all, here's another thing with Elon Musk. Like there was this recent thing going around. I don't know if it's true, but he's like, I'm technically homeless. I've been living at friend's house for 6 months or whatever. I'm like, first of all, you're an asshole. You're the richest man alive, and you're crashing on your buddy's couch. Buy his house from him. Like, do something, But like he doesn't seem like he's having fun. Like if I was Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, man, I would first of all not work anymore forever.
Jeff Bezos has to work. He lost half his shit in that divorce.
He lost half of his shit, which was $900 billion.
I know, he's still like one of the richest guys.
Yeah, there's literally, you can't spend that much money in a lifetime. It's crazy.
See, this is why we're not rich, because if that happened to me or you, we'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever. It's still a lot of money. This guy was like, nah, I got to get that shit back.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. I know. It's so stupid. But yeah, that would be a fun time. Yeah, I would have a like total streaming studio with like Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I'd have that like $20,000 Wormwood gaming table.
What one stupid thing would you do? Like, not because all that getting
I
a
would do
dungeon and
all
that stuff isn't stupid. That's fucking important.
Oh,
like,
it's important.
Like, for example, me, if I had that kind of money, what I would do is I would take the biggest flat earther guy or most famous or whatever who has the biggest following. I would put that motherfucker in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Send his ass to space.
That would be pretty good.
Just so he can come back and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's the kind of money I want.
I mean, I would maybe hire John Mayer to hang out with me.
Why?
Because he's the best.
Because he's the best?
Dude, he's like one of my guitar heroes for sure. And yeah, maybe I would pay for like private lessons from John Mayer.
I heard he's a sociopath, man. I heard he's a psychopath.
Dude, I'm fucking down. I mean, I'm kind of one too.
I'd have to stick around just to make sure he didn't kill you.
Yeah, no, man. We would hang out, and then like I would instantly win him over, and then we would be best friends, and then we could hang out in my hot tub together.
That's not how psychopaths work, Cody. That's not how they work.
No, we'll connect. It's gonna happen.
No. I would definitely be in the background just watching, like watching you.
You can get in a hot tub too. Just don't talk to him.
I won't.
If you have any questions, you ask through me.
You're the fucking filter, just playing pigeon the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, we hope those nerdy confessions satisfied everyone. I love when we go on a big rant about freaking Elon Musk or something that doesn't matter. We're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to be diving into both Moon Knight and the future of Disney Plus Marvel shows. We'll be right back. And we're back. I just thought of another thing for if I won the lottery or whatever.
Yes.
I would hire a producer for the podcast so I didn't have to do anything anymore.
No, we would definitely get an intern and pay them experience.
No,
that's how the boomers did it.
No, I would pay him a healthy salary, and I mean like nothing crazy, but like I feel like I could find someone to do it for like $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's a decent living.
That's not even minimum wage.
Is it not?
I don't know.
It's
definitely, you can't live in the Bay Area.
Yeah, you can't live in the Bay Area. But
how much work are they really going to be doing?
He works like 2-3 hours a week. For $50,000. Yeah, dude, it'd be a side hustle for sure.
Yeah,
but that would be fucking sweet. God, I would love doing this show so much more if I didn't have to go home and like put together the videos and stuff.
How can we get?
And they would look so good, because that would be his whole job.
If only we still had Brian.
Yeah.
Can't wait till that divorce happens.
Oh God! Don't wish that on him.
He's not listening.
They'll kick him out of Japan. Actually, is he? I don't actually remember if he's married.
Yeah, he has to be if he's living in Japan.
No, I don't know. Whatever. Hey, Brian, we miss you. I did get to meet his daughter though. She came over for the holidays.
Oh, nice.
Cutie little Asian baby. Asian babies are the cutest. I mean, if you're ever going to steal one,
yeah,
Asian baby for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about
a daughter. It'd be a lot easier too, because in China,
Jesus Christ,
just throw them away.
Yeah.
What? I'm not doing it. They're doing it.
Yeah, China. Shame on you, China. Oh, speaking of China, what's funny to me is how, because there was this controversy with the new Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts movie, it
has to be something gay.
Something Dumbledore. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up. Because it is Harry Potter. Basically, for the Chinese release, they cut out all the parts where that insinuated that Dumbledore and Grindelwald were gay for each other.
Yeah.
Which is like such a hypocritical move, because they're like, oh, J.K. Rowling's like, yeah, Dumbledore is gay the whole time. Look how forward thinking I am, because she hates trans people or whatever. So she does things to make up for it, but then they go and change it in the movie. They're like, yeah, but we want that Chinese money. You know what I mean?
They did the same thing with Doctor Strange, with the two moms.
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
They didn't.
I thought they did.
From what I heard, and that one was because of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was like, hey, take that shit out of there. We don't like that gay shit in our movies. And Marvel actually stuck to their guns, at least last that I heard. And they're like, nah, fuck you, Saudi Arabia. You're not as rich as China.
Come talk to me when you got that China money.
Yeah. Let me know when you're Chinese rich. So they actually left it in there, which is, props to them for actually sticking to their guns. Now, who knows what happens in China? Because they're not fans of gay people either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's so dumb. First of all, that a whole government, and I mean, here we are in a government that's about to reverse Roe v. Wade, so we can't really talk. But
we're pro, so we can't talk. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But it's so weird that a whole country is just against gay people.
It's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah. Like, in particular, to act like I used to work at a restaurant. I'm not gonna say the restaurant, but like one of the busboys, older Chinese gentleman, and the cook was asking him, "Hey man, like they were talking about how it's you can't be gay in China." He's like, "So like where do they how do they hide? What do they do?" He's like, "Well, there's no gays in China."
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, because they're all over here, huh? Hey, because you're gay." And it's just like, but it's like,
I bet he did not find that funny.
He did not find it funny.
There's no case in China. Yeah, right. Straight up a seventh of the entire population of Earth.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, there's no one over there. No one who's gay over there.
It's just silly.
I know. Fucking China. Fuck you, China. God, we're gonna get shut down for saying that. YouTube's like, no, cut that off.
Yeah, fuck the what's his name? Winnie the Pooh, Xi Jinping. Fuck him.
Yeah, Xiaoping or whatever his name is. Anyway, let's talk Moon Knight. Talking about, this one takes place in another extremely tolerant country, Egypt. So when Moon Knight, we've covered a couple of the episodes, like how we first initially felt about it. Now that the show is completely over, how do you feel about the series as a whole?
I'm to be perfectly honest, I feel let down. Ethan Hawke, and nothing against the actors. All the actors were great.
No, yeah, they all did an excellent job.
Even
I don't know her name, but the one who played Layla was really good.
Yeah,
the guy who played Khonshu was really good.
Yeah, the voice actor he was awesome. Like, there was nothing on them. Like, I like their performances. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I don't remember if you said it while we were recording, but you said it to me. Like, there wasn't enough Moon Knight. Like, there wasn't enough action. And to me, it's like, Disney needs to get off this 6-episode bullshit, man. Like, just make more episodes. Like, make them. You got fucking money.
Yeah, I think that's where this show really, really suffered, because Moon Knight as a character takes a while to explain him.
Yeah.
Right. And he's got the split personalities. You have like making a deal with an Egyptian god, so you have to kind of explain all that stuff. And then you have to have the main plot of the show and all the twists and turns that entails. And I feel like 6 episodes just was nowhere near enough to do it. Now if they were like, if they left it on a big cliffhanger, which they kind of sort of did, we'll talk spoilers in a minute, but, and there was like definitely a season 2 that's going to explain more of it, that'd be okay. But as of right now, they're like, nope, this was a one series thing, we don't know the future of Moon Knight, and who knows how true that is. But yeah, I was, overall, I was pretty disappointed by it. When it was good, it was really good.
The first episode was amazing. I
Right.
really liked the first episode, and we didn't get Moon Knight till the end, which is fine. I mean, you're establishing.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That's fine for a first episode.
I don't remember the British guy.
Stephen Grant.
Was it Stephen Grant?
Stephen Grant and Mark
Yeah.
Spector.
So we got to care about Stephen and like what he's going through, but it's just like if you were gonna do like if it was 10 or 12 episodes, that could have worked. But it's like to have one episode where we don't get Moon Knight till the end, and we just get a hint, and then everything else just felt so like sped up, like nothing had time to breathe. Like I feel like maybe two episodes in him in the mental hospital explaining the multiple personalities and like how he's unlocking, how they can figure out to
Right.
work as one, like would have been a lot cooler, but it's just all of it was just so fucking fast.
Yeah.
I was just like every Wednesday I was like, oh, the new episode's out. I wasn't like waiting, not like Wanda Vision where I'm like, fuck, I can't wait till the next episode because I need to know what fucking happened.
Right, exactly. I watched every episode basically the day it came out, but it wasn't like I never at one point through the show was I at the end of the episode like, God damn, that's what I was waiting for this whole time.
Yeah.
It never got there. And it's disappointing, because he's a cool superhero. And when we did see Moon Knight doing his Moon Knight stuff, amazing, like 100% great choreography. Didn't suffer from the Iron Fist like super shitty fight choreography or whatever. But yeah, man, I wanted so much more from it.
And particularly, I saw videos of Oscar Isaac training.
Yeah.
And doing like all this cool stuff, like
and you see all of that, and there's like, oh, so that was for that 1 20-second scene.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, this guy's training real fucking hard. I'm like, I can't wait to see this guy like
in
kick
action.
some ass. Yeah,
and Moon Knight's always one of those heroes who's like super brutal when he fights. You know what I mean? Like I was expecting like another Daredevil level, fight choreography, and it just didn't happen. So, let's talk some brief spoilers. So if you haven't finished Moon Knight and you don't want anything spoiled. Spoilers are coming, so we gave you a heads up. So let's talk about the end a little bit. So in the after credits scene, we see the third personality come out. Jay Larrabee?
No, Loki or something?
Jay Loki? I should have freaking looked that up. So we see him. He's driving the car with Khonshu in the back. Khonshu looking sick as fuck with his like Mr. Moon Knight or Mr. Moon, was it Mr. Knight? That's what they call that version of the character, right?
I don't know.
The one where,
I
the one that
don't
Stephen
know a
Grant,
whole lot about Moon Knight. So.
Well, anyway, so we see him and Moon Knight. He unlocks this third persona, which was kind of hinted out throughout the entire show. Like he would have these blackout periods where he would beat up these guys, but we never really got to see the full extent of him. Yes, he was introduced, so we might see that in the future, but it just seemed like too little, too late. And the video effect of where he would black out and wake up and all the dudes would be beat up, that was cool for the first episode.
Yeah.
Right? But then they kept doing that throughout the show, and it's like, dude, I know you don't want to spend money on action scenes, but we want to see a little bit of action, and we never really got to see his full potential. It was a little disappointing. We did get to see some cool stuff. We got to see, what's it called? The Scarlet Scarab, which this is a picture of her. And she looked great. That costume looked great. But again, we saw her for 3 minutes.
Yeah, last episode.
The Moon Knight suit itself looked awesome. He's got the little moon boomerangs or whatever. Those were amazing when, he would throw those and just hack people up. And then we saw the Mr. Knight suit, which is the one that Stephen Grant wears when he's being a detective or whatever. And I thought that was really cool. I think we had we got a lot of cool scenes and stuff, but we never really got the show that I think a lot of us were expecting. And I think a big problem with a lot of these Disney Plus shows is that they're kind of stuck to that 6 to 8 episode formula. I don't know if there's been any that are 8, but they all seem to be in these shorter little blocks of episodes. And while it may seem like that's a lot of time to tell a story when you think of a movie as like 2 to 3 hours, right? The stories they're trying to tell and these characters they're trying to introduce are much longer than what a 2 or 3 hour movie could actually portray, but also they're longer than what these 6 episodes can deal with, right? That's why I really liked Daredevil. I want to say it was like 10 or 12 episodes.
Yeah,
right?
And it wasn't Disney Plus doing it.
That's right.
It was Netflix. So
that's right. And I think they should look back at those because the most successful of these shows, I think, as far as portraying a character, telling a riveting story, has been first and foremost Daredevil.
Ooh, I would say it's a tie between Jessica Jones and Daredevil.
First
season of Jessica Jones.
First season of Jessica Jones was great, but Daredevil was goddamn. Even the second season was so good. Between like the action, the fight choreography, the villains, the stories, and it's like, and they didn't spend a lot of time on like, Matt Murdock, learning to become really good at Kung Fu. Like they didn't spend hardly any time at all on that. It was just like him taking on the persona of Daredevil, and like they could have easily done that with Moon Knight. But and I will say they took a chance. Like they took a chance with like starting off in the middle where Stephen Grant is the character who's learning about all this, but Mark Spector has been Moon Knight for a while.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting approach. I just think that it kind of fell short from what they were trying to do. And I think that's been a problem with these Disney Plus shows. We have Captain America and Winter Soldier. Is that what they ended up calling it at the end? Falcon Winter Soldier. That one, I think suffered from a lot of that too, where it had like, they were trying to set up a lot of new stuff, but like the story itself kind of fell short a little bit. I really wanted like this buddy cop, show between the two of them. And it was trying to set up like, the morality of the super soldier serum. And like,
I feel like there was great elements that would have been awesome if they were longer, if it was a longer show.
Right.
And particularly if they had expanded longer on the first guy who took the super soldier serum. I forgot his name. Older black gentleman. Like that would have been great. And even exploring the fact of a black Captain America, like they hinted at it, where he says, like, I don't know if America is ready to accept that,
right.
Which is, had they gone more into that, like, it would have been dope, but they kind of played it safe.
No, they tried to cram it all into Falcon's, like, speech at the end. You got to do better, Senator.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude. It
was a little cringy.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you try to force it without earning that sort of, speech. Like, Falcon had never said... I can't think of what's Falcon's civilian name.
I don't remember.
I just keep wanting to say Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, no, not that.
Wilson, something. Brain fart. Anyway, so like you've never seen him give that kind of speech to anybody, right? Yeah. And he just instantly turns it on. It's not he didn't really earn that, right? But it was because they needed this big message spelled out at the end to kind of like summarize the whole show. And it was just like, it was too much and it came out cringy. Then we have Hawkeye where there, again, some good stuff in there. But at the end of the day, we didn't explore that much of like, why, what drove Hawkeye to become Ronin, what kind of lasting effects that's had on it. Kingpin was thrown in there randomly at the end, which was like, oh, that's cool, but then it gets taken out really quickly. Yeah. It was just, they're not earning stuff, right? Daredevil, we see this slow burn, and I'm going to keep comparing to Daredevil because I think that's the most successful show they've done. There was a slow burn where we find out more and more about the Kingpin and how dangerous he is, how crazy he is, but even how a little sympathetic he is, right? And so at the end, when it's the beat down, drag out fight between the two of them, it's like, oh shit, this is what this whole series has been leading to.
Yeah.
It's not thrown in there at the very end. Loki, I think, is probably... Loki and I think Wanda Vision are probably my two favorite of these Disney Plus shows. Loki, I feel like, did an excellent job. There was just enough payoff, just enough, character development between the two of them. But it was still a little rushed for how big of an idea they're trying to get across.
And I think the whole reason why Loki and WandaVision worked was they're not trying to cram a story, a backstory, an explanation into one. Like, we
At
already
this point,
know a little bit.
We know Loki.
Yeah, we know Loki. We know Wanda.
Yeah.
We know what, we've seen her go through her arc of grief, and we've seen Loki's, villain to, villain to hero redemption, and so, like, and even though they threw in that whole movie sequence of him seeing his whole life, which they had to do because at that point that Loki was coming out of the incident of New York, so but yeah, I mean, we had all this history, so they didn't have to cram all this stuff into there. So they can go straight into the story, and it didn't affect.
Though I will say that one problem Loki had is they still had that info dump at the end with Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah,
where it was
the
like
classic villain giving out his
mustache twirling. Yeah. And again, it was like, okay, you're just trying to cram all this stuff in there, like the most bloated, overused, like after credits scene you could possibly imagine. It's just like a 10-minute sequence of him talking at a desk about what's happening. So yeah, I think there's just a lot that these shows are doing that kind of worry me for the future of them. Like there hasn't been one where I'm like, oh my God, this is my favorite Marvel thing ever. They've all been like, kind of okay. The best ones being, like I said, Loki and WandaVision, because they did something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? WandaVision was
a big risk. It was a big risk. Each episode being a different genre of a show. Luckily, it paid off. But
you know what I will say? I will say What If was actually a surprise for me.
Like, you had a low bar.
I had a very low bar. So, I did not even want to watch it, and I was pleasantly surprised.
I on the other hand was like, I'm expecting something good, and I was like, all right, it was. I had a healthy enthusiasm for it, and it met it. So
yeah, I enjoyed What If. I was pleasantly surprised by that one. Which brings us kind of to our next show in the lineup, which is Miss Marvel. And there's been some controversy recently, and we even did a brief segment on an episode about how they're changing Kamala Khan's powers.
Yes.
So in the comic books, for those of you who don't know, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, not Carol Danvers, but she is an Inhuman. Like that's her deal, right? So Marvel, as we talked about last week, kind of almost forgot that the Inhumans happened because that show was so terrible.
But it seems like after Doctor Strange, it looks like they're going to bring that element back. So
possibly, but maybe not.
I have faith that Marvel will do at least what they did with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, where like he was unliked to like now people love him so much because of No Way Home. I have a feeling that they're going to be able to take the Inhumans and just make them.
I feel like that already. I guess we should say light spoilers for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. There is a brief glimpse of some Inhumans in it. We'll just say that. We
were at the time of this release, we've already done a whole episode of
Doctor exactly. So if you're watching us out of order, we apologies. But yeah, so I feel like that already happened. Like I hated that show. That show was so bad. But like seeing him back in the movie, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like excited. You know what I mean? It's a weird part of like being a nerd where even the bad stuff from things that we love is still cool. Like if like there was a new Star Wars movie out, or let's see, I think actually, I'm trying to remember in one of the Star Wars shows or movies. Oh, it was in Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, when he's fixing up his new ship and stuff at Tracy Ullman's scrapyard.
Talking about the Mandalorian.
Yeah, the Mandalorian episodes. Yeah.
Okay.
When he's hot rodding his new ship, when it was a Naboo starfighter, I was like, "Oh, sick! It's a fucking Naboo starfighter." Episode 1 was not. I mean, it was okay, but it was not like my favorite Star Wars. But it's cool seeing that reference. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, seeing an Inhuman in Doctor Strange was really, really fun.
I'm wondering,
even though that show wasn't great,
if they're gonna bring over Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I stopped watching. I was all about it, and then it just started losing steam for me, and I stopped when. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yep.
You did, yeah, because you mentioned what's his name? Forgetting his name. Skull guy.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I didn't get that far. I got when.
God damn, that was Ghost Rider. Arc of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was so good.
Yeah, I got that one guy that they always called the Terminator or whatever switched to he was Hydra. Once that happened, I was like, I kind of just stopped watching.
Yeah. Well, I think a problem with that show and even with the Inhumans is that both shows were part of Marvel Television, which once the MCU really picked up steam, the MCU is kind of lorded over by Kevin Feige, and then Marvel Television was this other guy who Kevin Feige hated, and this other guy was the one who didn't want to make a Black Widow movie because he's like, no one will watch a movie about a woman superhero.
Kevin Feige was like, hold my fucking beer.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that movie was a little too late, but I would have, I still watched it and it was still fun. But yeah, I forget what that other guy's name was. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He's a piece of shit. He
shouldn't be remembered.
Yeah, he shouldn't be remembered. He should be forgotten.
But with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel like they're trying to cut away from it. But from what I remember watching it is they always reference stuff that happened in the movies.
So that stopped after season 2 or 3.
Yeah, because they mentioned the incident of New York and
right. Yeah, that was a big part of it.
And then, also the stuff that Tony Stark or the villain in the third Iron Man, what he made, the Extremist, yeah. They had the Extremist stuff.
They had the Extremist stuff. They had Kree, and they had, they mentioned the Dark Elves from Thor 2.
Yeah, and they had I forgot her name, but she was in Thor. She was part of Thor's crew.
Oh yeah, Lady Sif.
Yeah, she
was in it. Maria Hill showed up at one point.
Yeah, so it's
so they were doing that, but then eventually. After season, I want to say 3, maybe 4, maybe it went that far, they cut all ties with the MCU, and that stopped happening. And that's when some of the crazier out there things that you were like, I don't know if I like this. When people turned into weird alien monsters or whatever, that's when that show started to really suffer because they stopped having that tie in, and because of that, they were unable to pull superheroes from the MCU into it, so they had to really scrape the bottom of the barrel kind of thing, or find these alternate ones.
I wouldn't say Ghost Rider's bottom.
No, Ghost Rider is sick, I was very surprised when he showed up in it. But same thing though is that it was Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, not Johnny Blaze, so a little bit different. And then the Inhumans were in it, but none of the Avengers were ever in it, kind of thing. So. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer, but I enjoyed that show overall.
We'll probably never get a Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider showing up in the MCU.
They could do it if he becomes an older Ghost Rider who's riding the horse or whatever.
I was gonna say unless it's just voiceover only, it's all CG. But they're not gonna have him be the face. It's not even his age so much. He's just kind of let himself go in terms of hero build. Yeah,
exactly. But anyway, back to Miss Marvel. So her powers are from being an Inhuman, and she could stretch and embiggen herself. That was part of it. And then we have here's a little kind of picture of what her powers look like in the show. So she's
honestly was the first thing when I saw the trailer or the teaser that they released. I'm like, whoa, they hella changed their powers, because they show her with some bracelets.
Yep.
They look a whole lot like Shang-Chi's. His
very
bracelets.
similar.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna do that instead.
I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do. But she seems to have some sort of energy manipulation type powers, which, similar to like that of Green Lantern almost. So it's very, very different from what she has. And Kevin Feige, I think, recently kind of commented on it, because there's a lot of people who are like, dude, what the fuck is this?
I honestly think it's because they're bringing in Richards, and like they're going to bring in the Fantastic Four, and they probably don't want too stretchy people. That's the only thing I can think of.
Definitely possible. So here's what Kevin Feige said. So here's a good picture of her from the comic book. So you can see her legs are just kind of, or arms are just kind of stretchy. So Feige said that Kamala's original powers were due to the character coming about in a very specific time within comic book continuity, and that continuity didn't match within the key specific time within the MCU continuity. Fans will learn about where those powers come from as they watch the show and how it's specific to the MCU. We adapted the comics. It's not an exact translation. Kamala came about in a very specific time in the comic book community, blah, 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 blah. She is coming into a very specific time in the MCU. And those two things didn't match.
So I'm assuming is they didn't want to make her an Inhuman.
I believe that's probably the biggest part of it, honestly. Though, I mean, you can explain her powers in any number of ways, right?
Or you could just have her be an Inhuman and don't address it. She doesn't even know that she's an Inhuman,
right? Until
they bring out Inhumans. Say, hey, by the way, you
yeah.
Are one of us.
At the end, like Black Bolt shows up and he's like, sign language. Her. Here's another thing he says. You will see great comic splash panels in some of our action sequences. If you want big, giant hands and arms, well, they're here in spirit, if not in stretchy plastic type ways. Taps into the future of her story as it connects to her friends that she will meet in the upcoming film, The Marvels. She's interested in knowing, great, does that mean I'm Asgardian? Did I get hit with gamma rays? No, it's seemingly none of those things. It goes to her own past and her heritage and lineage. So, I mean, that's an interesting way of kind of, explaining the changes, but at least, and I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I'm the biggest Miss Marvel fan, but one thing I've always kind of understood, and I think the Avengers game did a good job of this, because that was very much her story in that game. Her powers kind of came, they manifested in a way because she was never really comfortable with her own body, being, a Muslim girl growing up in America. And that's why she's able to change her body, because the Inhuman like gene always kind of affects you in some sort of way pursuant to your consciousness kind of thing, right? So it seems like you kind of lose that aspect of the character if she just puts these wristbands on and can shoot laser hands out of her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's either going to be Loki, Wanda Vision good, or, Moon Knight not as exciting. But I don't want to say it makes it sound like Moon Knight's bad. It's not bad. Like the acting was great for what they'd given. I loved all the characters. But yeah, it was just it wasn't exciting.
The idea, like what Moon Knight did, was not bad. It was rushed.
Yeah,
I think that's where it failed the most. If there was I'd say realistically for what I would want out of that show, if there was another 4 episodes, like maybe 2, but definitely 4 could have done it. I think we would have had a much better experience with that one.
We need to start an online petition to get Disney to make longer series.
Yeah.
And we're going to, it's not out yet, but Obi-Wan. I'm already pissed that it's going to be 6 episodes.
Right.
I'm hoping it's going to be amazing just because, Mandalorian was fucking great.
Yep.
Pedro Pascal's shoulders are probably holding from carrying the fucking Star Wars universe
on
his back. Right. But I'm really hoping that it's going to be great in 6 episodes, but I know I'm going to want more. And that one, I feel like for sure is not going to be a season 2.
One thing that's kind of surprising to me, right, is I feel like all of these TV shows that are doing this 6 to 8 episode formula are kind of modeling themselves after the success of Game of Thrones. Would you agree with that?
You mean setting themselves up to fail?
No.
Like the last season? Because Game of Thrones was like, first season was what, 10, 12 episodes?
So every season up to season like 8, I think it was 10 episodes long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I think we can all agree that the last season of Game of Thrones faltered like crazy. Like it was not good. It definitely left a sore spot on the series as a whole. But you forget that those first 8 seasons, 7, 8 seasons, were the highest rated TV of all time.
Yeah.
The most watched, the most anticipated, the most discussed. Like, it's crazy. Like, I freaking got a Game of Thrones tattoo on my leg, But
you got it for free.
I did get it for free at Comic-Con. But, so I feel like, but that kind of brought forth the idea that a 10 episode season of TV, a shorter season traditionally, but with huge cinematic budgets and stuff like that, could be very successful, right?
Yeah, but each episode was an hour, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, and these are like shorter,
right?
Episodes and shorter time frames. Like,
yeah, but I think what I'm trying to say is I think that the model of the Game of Thrones shorter TV season, right, compared to like if you look at Star Trek: The Next Generation, one of my all-time favorite shows. There's 24 episodes per season.
That's what I want.
They're all an hour long, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's what I want.
Right. Yeah. I get that that's budgetarily like the amount of money it costs to make one episode of Moon Knight is like how much it costs to do like half a season of Star Trek.
Probably.
Right. But I think everyone kind of modeled them after Game of Thrones in its own way. Like there might be other shows that influenced it more, but shorter seasons with very cinematic episodes, right? But then they're looking at the wrong part of Game of Thrones. They're looking at the last season where they shortened everything,
and it didn't do well.
And it did terrible because there was no time for things to develop and mature into a show. So, I think they need to really look at like how this can be successful. You need hour-long episodes. There's no reason to do a 45-minute episode because, like, why not do a block of time that's an hour? Because there's no commercials on Disney
you're
Plus.
kind of like, all right, well, okay, granted, you gave us more than 30 minutes.
Right.
But, like, you didn't do the hour.
Well, it's funny because it's like, it's such an uneven amount of time. Like, how did they decide that, And it's like, what's so silly is, normally, like, you have an episode of, like, Seinfeld, and it's, like, 22 minutes. You're like, oh, that's kind of weird because it was normally on TV from 7 to 7:30. Well, it's because of commercials, right? And so it's very strange to me to have these streaming episodes that are like 43 minutes long.
No commercials.
No, there's no commercials.
You know what it is? It's that 10-minute fucking credits at the end.
Yeah, in all the different languages. Yeah. And then what's funny too is, you think about, like I've read several articles, like the showrunner of Moon Knight was like one of my favorite scenes with Oscar Isaac being Mark Spector or whatever actually got cut from the show. It was just the studio pulled it or whatever because for time or whatever. I'm like, what time constraints? If you shot it already. Like, just keep it in there.
What was the scene? I'm curious.
He didn't actually say. He just said it was like his favorite thing is like the best acting that he thought Oscar Isaac did in the whole show was part of this scene. He was like, man, maybe we'll see it on some bonus features or something. I'm like, fuck, just put it in the show. So I don't know.
The mouse runs a tight ship, bro. Just wasn't having it.
I just don't understand. I feel like the Wheel of Time suffered from that too. And that was, I think, 10 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was 8. But, like, so rushed, to do this massive adaptation. But who knows? I'm hoping Ms. Marvel's good. I'm hoping all the upcoming Disney Plus Marvel shows are good. And I hope Kenobi is good because Obi-Wan's one of my favorite characters. And, God, if they fuck this up, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, I mean, all I know from what I've read, I mean, my gut is telling me it's going to be great. just because they had I forgot the actor's name that plays Vader in
Hayden
the prequels.
Christensen.
Yeah, so he went and watched all of
Clone Wars.
Yeah, all the cartoons to get a better understanding of the character, which shows
How to do the character so people would like him.
Yeah. So, I mean, you beat me to it, but I was gonna say because that Anakin is the one that everyone likes. I'm like, okay, that's an Anakin I can get behind.
Right.
So
also, I will say to all the haters out there, I think Hayden Christensen is a good actor. I just think what it really boils down to is George Lucas is not that good of a director. He's an amazing storyteller. He's an amazing world creator, but I think that he's not good at getting the performance out of the actors.
You know what they should do? You know what you should do? I'm going to drop more gold. Just get Christopher Nolan to direct a George Lucas movie.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fucking sick.
And be fucking money. Just print it.
Or Sam Raimi, for that matter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
A George Lucas, Sam Raimi horror movie.
Oh, my God.
Down.
I would die.
Temple of Doom, done by Sam Raimi, as a horror movie.
Oh, my God.
It's got horror elements. Take dude's fucking heart out, and there's gross food and
Can't
stuff.
polish a turd, Christian.
Yeah, you can.
Can't polish a turd. Keep shining and shining and still just shit. Let us know what you guys think. Are we completely off base? Did you love all the Marvel TV shows, or have you been kind of disappointed too? We'd love to hear from you guys. Throw them down in the comments. Shoot us a message on the old Instagram, Twitters, or Facebooks. All that information at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. And if you want to support the show, you can like and subscribe. That's all free. We do appreciate that. But you can also hit up patreon.com/nerdswithfriends and help support the show monetarily. I think in case you didn't notice, we've had some technical difficulties this show. The camera dying and stuff, so every little bit helps.
I think we're gonna need a new GoPro or something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyone's listening, if you know how we can better the show, tell us what camera or what program to use.
Yeah, exactly. If any of you guys are streamers out there, that would be much appreciated. Christian, as always, thank you very much for making me watch all these shows that are bad. They're not bad.
First off, I didn't make you. And they're not bad. I think we were disappointed. We expected more.
Yeah, we expect the world, and we're delivered less.
There you go.
That, so. But let us know what you guys think again, and thank you for listening. To all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you, and good night.